As you watched that Brain Pop video, did you hear our vocabulary words? Environment, ecosystem, population, community, and habitat? You should have. Did you get a better understanding of what those words mean and what they have to do with our science topic? If not, no worries. We're going to keep talking about it now in more detail. So let's start with the word environment. Environment is where living things get what they need to live from their environment. But what is an environment? Well, an environment is everything around a living thing. Take a look at this pond. What is part of the environment for this frog? Here he is right here. What's part of his environment? Take a look at this picture and tell me what you see, and that will be part of the environment. Take a second and think. Say it out loud what you see. Did you say lily pads, the water, dirt, rocks, some grass, some other plants that we maybe don't know the name of yet, trees, the bridge, the wood on the bridge? You're correct. All of those things are part of this frog's environment. They're surrounding where he lives. So, what's an environment again? An environment is everything around a living thing. Let's talk about the word ecosystem. In an environment, the living and non-living things that affect each other or interact form an ecosystem. What's something that's not alive here? The rocks aren't alive, right? Dirt's not alive. But what's something that is alive? The lily pads, the grass, the trees. Those things are alive. So those things work together or interact to form an ecosystem. We have ecosystems all over the world, all kinds of different ecosystems. This pond is an ecosystem. Let's take a look and observe and describe what kind of animals should live in and around the pond. Take a second and think to yourself, what animals should I move into this pond because they live there? Take a second. Do penguins live there? Of course not. What about snakes? Snakes usually do live in ponds. I'm going to move him there. What about a salamander? They live there. They're usually near water. Does a polar bear live near a pond or in a pond? No, it's not cold enough. How about this duck? Yep, we'd find a duck in a pond. Dragonflies, yep, they live there too. How about this tadpole? Of course, that's a baby frog. Lions don't live there. Frogs live there. Dogs don't live in ponds, but turtles do. Well, this specific fish doesn't live in a pond, but many fish do live in ponds, so I'm going to move him there. These are the things that live in this ecosystem, and these are the ones that don't. So, what's an ecosystem again? An ecosystem is a community of living things and their environment, which is everything around the living things. Remember, ecosystems have living and non-living things in them. What's a population? Think about the frogs that live in the pond. All the frogs as a group are called a population. A population is a group of the same kind of living things that live in the same place at the same time. See this group of frogs? They are a population of that live in the pond. So, what's a population again? It's a group of the same kind of living things living in the same place. A community. Populations of insects, water lilies, ducks, and newts live in the pond too. Together, these populations, everything you see in the red circles, form a community. Say community. Community is all the populations that live in an ecosystem. Each one of these red circles is a population, and together they form a community in an ecosystem. So, what's a community again? It's all the populations that live in an ecosystem. Okay, we've got one more word to talk about today. Habitat. Habitat is where each population lives within an ecosystem. For example, this plant lives on the edge of the pond. So what's a habitat? It's where each population lives within an ecosystem. Wow, guys, we have learned a lot of words today. Look at this. So, did we meet our goals today? Did we discover vocabulary about living things and their environments? Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. And did we define specific vocabulary about living things and their environments? Thumbs up or thumbs down. Good job, guys. All right, we learned a lot of different words today. Now it is your turn to show us what they mean. Use the boxes below and drag them to show us the correct definition. Move the blue boxes to the green squares to show us what the right definition is. All right, go give that a try now, guys. You got this. If you need help, go back to the next slide and you'll see the cheat sheet, the graphic organizer that we've been filling in and looking at together that looks like this, and it will give you the definition that you need. All right, go ahead and give that a try now.